Alright guys, so let's jump right into it. Right now I'm just lining up my closure to see exactly where I want it to be placed. And then I'm just going to flip my hair over and clip it to the side so I can sew without the hair getting in the way. I'm going to pull the closure at least in half an inch past my actual braid. You want to do this because if you actually line the closure up with your first braid, when you sew it on, the closure is going to pull back a little bit and that whole front braid is going to be exposed. So I have the closure where I want it to be, and I'm just going to go ahead and start sewing straight back onto my braids. And I kind of have the closure shifted just a tiny bit, so when I pull it to the other side, I can pull tight without it moving out of the alignment that I want it in. So I'm just going to flip it over and do the exact same thing. Remember, a half an inch past your braid, and now you want to kind of pull the closure over a little bit so it can be kind of snug and be flat on your head. And now it's time for the important part. You see that little flap right there? We're going to go ahead and sew it down so it'll be nice and flat to your head. So I'm going to take a little corner piece right there, and I do apologize. I'm going to go out of the frame a little bit, but I will talk you through it. But take the little corner piece and put your needle through it and pull it down and attach it to your braids on the side. Since I'm going to be pulling a little tight, I'm going to attach it to both of my braids right there on the side. Just so I won't pull my edges out, and I advise you guys to do the same thing. So I'm actually going to go ahead and repeat that process again, just so it can be nice and secure. So after I've secured it the second time, I'm going to go ahead and double knot it just so the closure can be locked in place. So you can already see that the closure is starting to blend really well. So yeah, let's go ahead and do it to the other side. Now I'm just going to repeat the exact same step. Just put it through the little corner and attach it to my braids, and do that step twice, and then double knot it and lock it in place. Now for sewing in the back, you do not want to pull the closure back and start sewing. You just want to lay it down gently and then start sewing across, because if you pull back too hard, that whole front braid will be exposed in the front, and you do not want that at all. So there you go. The closure is laid nice and flat to your head. My closure actually has a little bit of an orange tint to it because the concealer that I used was the wrong color and it stained the lace. So all the washing I did, it just didn't come out. But you can see that it is blending pretty nicely. If I didn't have that wrong color concealer, it would be perfect. So I did bleach the knots on this closure. I know bleach kind of weakens the lace, but I wanted to do it anyway just so it can blend a little better. And I also kind of plucked out my part a little bit. Plucking out the hairs just kind of makes it look a little bit more like your natural part. And yeah, so you can do that if you want, but do not go overboard. I do have a little bit of gaps in my closure because I went overboard. But other than that, everything was great. So go ahead, feel free to try it out and let me know how it works out in the comments.